What's up, everyone? How are you all? It's your boy Fatboy Cyback here for a bit of football talk. Obviously, with the Premiership just starting, the weekend has gone. The whole first week of the Premiership has come and it's now finished. So, just gonna have a sort of review on pretty much all the games, I suppose, and sort of talk about the talking points and stuff in each game, and I'll be chatting to you then. So. Let's not waste any time and get straight into it. So, Friday night was the very first game of the Premier League with the newly promoted Brentford against Arsenal. And what a game that was. What a game that was from... I didn't see the game. I saw bits and bobs of the game. And obviously saw highlights, basically, in other words. And I was gobsmacked, to be fair. Fair play to Brentford. First game in the obviously it's just I'm just sort of gobsmacked. That's why I'm sort of speechless. Getting to the top flight and winning 2-0 over Arsenal. It sort of comes as a shock, but not a shock, if that makes sort of sense. It's just, where do you begin? Where do you begin with Arsenal? I mean, no disrespect to Brentford. They played well. They played well to their strengths, and obviously they won. They got the job done, and they were fantastic. But what is going on at Arsenal? Oh, they're in such an absolute mess, aren't they? Absolute, total mess. What can you do, really? I mean, where do you begin with them? Where do you begin with? I mean, it's just like. I mean, to be brutally honest, I mean they probably will end up sacking Arteta eventually. But the thing is, it's like when Wenger come to, don't get me wrong, Wenger was sort of changed the DNA of Arsenal sort of in a way, and had some fantastic players over the years and stuff. The time he was there, obviously won league titles, won FA Cups. I think they got to a final, didn't they? The Champions League, I think they lost, didn't they? And the Invincibles was what, I don't know when it was. Well, it must be come to nearly 20 years now. They're just in a mess, aren't they? And Wenger went, and then they brought in they sort of brought Emery in, thinking, yeah, here we go. Move on now, move to the next step, and he sort of failed very badly. And then they brought Lundberg in, obviously, because he managed, I think he was under the 18s, under 21s, I'm not too sure, of Arsenal. And expected to sort of do half decently. Failed, and then obviously bring Arteta in, and obviously he was a sort of assistant coach with Pep Guardiola at Man City. And obviously learned some tips. Well, should have learned some tips from him, but obviously he hasn't. But you can't keep blaming the man. You can sort of blame the manager, but you can't keep blaming the manager all the time, because they've gone through literally 3 different managers in the space of a few years. You can't keep blaming the manager. The players are simply just not good enough. They've got Aubameyang, who's, I don't know where he's been for the last season and a bit. Lacazette, he just can't put the ball in it to save his life. Their defence, I mean, the defence was a little bit better last year, but they are absolutely awful. I mean, they spent 50 million on Ben White. I rate him because I've sort of seen bits and bobs of Ben White, and I do rate him, but he had an absolute meh. But let's just put it this way: 50 million for Ben White and 40 something million for Varane for Man United. It says it all. So very appalling there. So that was the game. I've spent nearly 5 minutes talking about Arsenal and Brentford, didn't I? So, but anyway, so very disappointing. Where do Arsenal go from here? Who knows? But anyway, we'll leave it that. So the Saturday's games, the 12:30 kick-off was an absolute belter of a game. And an absolutely fantastic performance from Manchester United. Magnificent 5-1 over Leeds United. So, fantastic. I think Paul Pogba, get the right words out of my mouth, managed to get 4 assists, I think he did. So whoever had him in the dream team picked up some absolute monster points in that one. And obviously, Fernandes with a hat-trick, obviously. Great start for him. I rate him very highly. He's a bit of a whinger, but you know, just the majority of these players these days, they go down so easy for free kicks, penalties, and stuff. But anyway, that's a different story. So yeah, so magnificent, and just an overall brilliant performance. Mason Greenwood looks good, looks sharp, and obviously, like I say, a very bright future, which I sort of thought he had a couple of years ago, and sort of was a bit lost last year. I think obviously with personal problems, which was sort of fair enough. But yeah, and obviously Leeds United, you know, Leeds being Leeds, you know, they don't sort of, well, they don't sort of defend as much really. They sort of go all out attack, don't they? Every time they seem to play. Sort of no disrespect to the clubs that are in the Premiership, when they play the bigger clubs, they tend to sort of concede like 3, 4, 5 goals, don't they? So, but anyway, so that was that. So magnificent performance in Man United, and I think that is probably, you know, well, it's just a brilliant performance in it in general. So anyway, I'm just going to try and make this video short and sweet, by the way, but it's 6 minutes already. Oh dear. But anyway, so, but yeah, so again to the next game. So Burnley v Brighton. So yes, so a very sort of weird sort of game. I think I did Burnley go 1-0 up, or did Brighton go 1-0 up? I can't remember. Do apologise for that. So yeah, so Burnley 1, Brighton 2. So sort of really no disrespect, sort of a bit of a lower mid-table, like what lower mid-table clash. Well, I wouldn't say mid-table clash to be fair, sort of more 14th, yeah, about 15th, 16th sort of clash. So yeah, Brighton with the win, picked up nice 3 points away at Burnley, who are very tough to beat. To be fair, I mean they've got a decent side, decent defence. I think Tarkowski scored. I remember now, Tarkowski scored for Burnley to win 1-0, and then Brighton come from behind to win 2-1. So credit to them, and you know, yeah, so very, very good win for the Seagulls, as I think they're called. So going into the next game, which was another 3 o'clock kickoff, so that was Chelsea v Crystal Palace. Chelsea won 3-0. Look, another sort of team who are one of the favourites to win the Premier League. Look very, very, very good. Along with, like, say, Man United, they look very, very good. Crystal Palace being Crystal Palace, they haven't got enough. I mean, they've got a couple of decent players in. Obviously, with the new manager in Patrick Vieira, got some learning to do, I think. I mean, but then again, no disrespect, it was always going to be a tough game away to Chelsea. Never really going to get anything out of it on my eyes. There was never going to be an upset on the cards there. Just an overall strong performance, I think, Chelsea, and fully deserve the 3 points. So, roll on for them. And like I said, I think I just heard today that Tammy Abraham has actually just gone to Roma, I think. I think what I've heard, so big signing there, I think. I might be wrong, I don't know. But anyway, so going into the next game, Everton v Southampton, another 3 o'clock kickoff. Everton win 3-1 against Southampton. I think Southampton went 1-0 up as well, if I remember rightly. Southampton went 1-0 up. I can't remember who scored the goal, but they went 1-0 up, and Everton sort of come back. And obviously with the return of Rafa Benitez at Liverpool, well, Everton obviously is in Liverpool, obviously, so but returned to sort of like Everton, which is nice to see him back, because I do sort of rate him where he's sort of gone as a manager. He's done really, really well. And yeah, fantastic performance from Everton. Obviously, you know, it shows with a good side that, you know, you come from behind to win, which Everton did. And yeah, so 3-1 winners for them. So going into the next game, and obviously the team who I support and the team I love to bits, that is Leicester City v Wolverhampton Wanderers. Very sort of weird game. Sort of chances, I suppose, sort of each end. Leicester had a few chances, but the game was won by Leicester 1-0. And obviously, old Mr. Reliant, Mr. Vardy, Jamie Vardy, with a very, very nice flick goal. But the assist from Ricardo Pereira was just something else. But the ball had to be put in the back of the net still, and that's what Vardy does, and Vardy does best, and looks strong. I think he's like 34 now, 34, 35, you know. With this sort of bringing, like say, Patson Daka in to sort of hopefully replace him long term, but yeah, so not too sure at the moment. But like I say, it's only one game in the Premiership, and we'll see what happens. So going into the next game, which was another 3 o'clock kickoff, the last 3 o'clock kickoff. God, I get the words out of my mouth in a minute, face. So Watford v Villa. So the game was very, very, well, it's obviously probably the game of the day, I suppose. Watford 3, Villa 2. Aston Villa, sorry. Very good performance from Watford. It's nice to sort of see him back in the big time. And I have sort of respect for, a lot of teams, and Watford's one of them, they don't sort of really spend much money, but anyway, what am I on about? So, and obviously Aston Villa with no Jack Grealish anymore, obviously you debuted on Man City, which I'll get into a little bit later, a little bit soon. So Watford I think they were 3-1 up at one point, obviously they're 3-0 up, I think they were. And obviously, very well performance. And Sarr was, I would have loved to have at Leicester. Sort of raised him quite early. I think it's Sarr, I think his name is. So, yeah. So, lovely win for Watford and a good start to them. And a bit of a not the best for Villa, but, like I say, it's only one game in. So, anyway. So, going into the next game, which was the 5:30 kickoff, the night-time kickoff. And that was Norwich City v Liverpool. So a decent one, as I say. It was a sort of one-sided, obviously. Just a very professional performance by Liverpool. Obviously, one of the title contenders, looked very, very strong. Obviously, Norwich 0, Liverpool 3, by the way, the score. And a very, very professional performance indeed. I'm trying to remember who scored now. It was Jota. I can't remember who got the second goal, but I know Salah got the last. Just overall very professional performance, and obviously Liverpool looking strong, just like Man United and Chelsea. So fantastic. So going into yesterday's games, 2 games only. The 2 o'clock kickoff was between Newcastle and West Ham. Very interesting game. Newcastle 2, West Ham 4. So very, very, very good game, obviously, to watch if you're West Ham, and not so good if you're Newcastle. So Newcastle sort of do feel sorry for them. With all the stuff going on with Mike Ashley and stuff, and the takeover this and all that, I think Newcastle fans must be fed up with it now, and I do sort of feel sorry for them, I really do, and because they just don't know where they stand on anything, to be fair, do they, fans and stuff. But anyway, so Newcastle, I think they were 1-0 up, and obviously West Ham come back and got 4 goals and won 4-2 eventually, so fair play to them. Mikel Antonio looked good. Souček, as always, who I rated very, very highly last season. Wished I did put him in my dream team. I did put him in my dream team this year, but unfortunately I sort of did it after all the week 1 games, which is a nuisance. So it just is what it is. But anyway, so that is that. So Newcastle 2, West Ham 4. So probably the biggest game, obviously, of the weekend, no disrespect to any other clubs, like I said, was Tottenham v Manchester City at the half past 4. Yeah, so where do I start on it? It wasn't the best of games. I thought Man City would win quite comfortably because obviously with the whole sort of thing going around at the moment, is Harry Kane staying? Is he going to Man City? We don't know. He wasn't in the lineup or nothing at all. As far as I'm aware of, he wasn't in the lineup. And very, very disappointing for Manchester City. Obviously, the score was Tottenham 1, Manchester City 0. So a poor performance overall for Manchester City. They didn't really, I don't think they had a shot on target all game. I think they had a couple of shots and that was it. I think on target, that was it. Tottenham didn't really do have much themselves, but they scored the goal and literally straight after they should have gone 2-0 up. I can't remember who spooned the chance. I think was it Ndombele? I might be wrong. I don't know. It might be Bergwijn actually. I'm not sure, but somebody was sort of pulling me up on it anyway. So that finished Tottenham 1 and Manchester City 0. So a bit of a shaky start for Guardiola, but a very good start for Tottenham considering they've got no Harry Kane in the lineup. So obviously they don't need him. So where does Kane go? So overall, I'm going to give my sort of overall and everything, probably the performance of the sort of like the first sort of like Premiership set of games. I think you can't ignore it. I think Manchester United were probably the performance of the weekend. The overall Premiership week 1. you can't argue with what they did. You know, Fernandes, like I say, Pogba were just on fire, and overall they were just on fire. And no disrespect to, like I say, I don't mean that they're disrespecting the teams, but probably the shock of the day. It's probably the shock of the sort of week, Premiership Week 1. Oh dear, you can pick a couple. I mean, I would say Arsenal was probably a big shot, but there sort of wasn't a shot because of the situation. I just don't. I mean, if I was an Arsenal fan, I'd be very worried. Let's put it that way. I'll probably have to go. I don't know. Can you call it a shock? I don't know. I don't. Do you know what? The shock. I will go for the Tottenham v Man City, because obviously Man City was expected to win. I thought they would win comfortably, but they obviously didn't. So I'm going to go for the shock of the week 1. I think is Tottenham winning, but fair play to them. They won. Yeah, so not happy obviously at all, because I'm not a Tottenham fan. Obviously, I'm not a fan of Tottenham, to be fair. So, but I do apologise, Pacey Hits, if you do watch this. So, but like I said, I don't mean anything against Tottenham. Just one of them things. But anyway, so it's just football banter, as they say, football banter. But anyway, so there it is. That's me sort of overall of talking about the Premiership games just gone after week 1. And yeah, and that's it. So I've been waffling on for about 16.5 minutes now. So I'm going to end it there. But it's good to talk to you all as always. And like I said, I'll be back again hopefully come sort of next Sunday for sort of another roundup of the Premiership games, and give my overall thoughts of all the games in general. So that is it. So like I say to you, just before I go, very, very quickly, just go and check my channel on YouTube. Greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe, and obviously smash the like. The name of the channel is Fatboy/Si, and give me your thoughts and comments on what your sort of favourite games were over the weekend. What was your biggest shock? What was, who was the standout player the whole weekend? And yeah, give me your thoughts and comments as always. So there we go. Today is it for now, folks, and I shall leave it at that. So because I've been waffling on for nearly 18 minutes now, so I'm going to end it there. So, but as always, people, you all take care and stay safe, and I'll return for more Premiership talk, football, and I shall see you then. So take care and goodbye.